Sabi ko, napaka-importante ng game na to.
It's going to be a battle of the execution.
It's going to be a tough game. You know, you just can't relax with a team like San Miguel.
Magaling sila one-on-one eh. But luckily, hindi naman one-on-one ang labanan, 5-on-5.
Going to have that opportunity na magkaroon ng lead to work na hindi na namin malulose yung chance na.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Solar TV's continuing coverage of the PBA Philippine Cup. I'm Gino Pino, coming to you live from the Big Dome for Sunday Night Main Battle Royale Part 2 in front of a frenzied crowd ready for war between the top two teams in the league. Now let's take a quick look at the team standings. With a win earlier today, Alaska Milk moves up to 5-5, tied for 4th place with the BMEG Derby Ace Llamados. And of course, Barako Bowl unfortunately moves down to 2-8. Now we can see the top two teams here. San Miguel Beer at 8-2, Ginebra at 7-2, battling for solo first place here in the PBA Philippine Cup. Now this is the second time that these two teams have met this conference. For more on the first meeting, here's Chicky Reyes.
Thank you, Gino, and PBA fans. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Chicky Reyes here at courtside, and in a few minutes, Battle Royale 2 will unfold before your eyes. But before our main game tonight, let's go back to October 17, the date of the first Battle Royale, and allow me to refresh your memories. In that game, Ginebra led by 15 points at the half. Then they self-destructed in the third quarter, allowing San Miguel to take a 4-point lead entering the fourth. Now, last few seconds of the game, San Miguel up by 1 point. Ginebra with possession and coming off a timeout. At ito po ang nangyari. JC the ball to Willie Miller. Santos covering Miller but allowing him to go right. With good lateral movements by Santos, Miller dribbles the ball off his foot, and that cost the game for Ginebra. Now ironically, Ginebra led in all departments except turnovers and points off turnovers. Si Miller po dapat ang ating best player of the game doon, but because of the defensive stops of Arvin Santos, siya ang ating naging best player of the game. Mga kaibigan, mahigit isang buwan na po na nakatapos yung unang encounter nila. Ang tanong po ngayon, naghilom na kaya ang sugat sa puso ni Willie Miller?
Hindi na mangyari yung ganun, masipa yung bola. Walang chance para manalo. Napakahirap yung gano'n. Yung pwede kayo manalo tapos sa'yo pa binigay yung bola. At least malam maitira mo. Magkaroon mo lang ng 50-50 chance para ma-shoot. Tsaka siyempre, yung depensa rin namin. We need to work as a team. Kasi nga, they have all the advantages from the guard hanggang sa big man nila, malalaki sila. So, yan. Ang dami naming trabaho gagawin.
San Miguel at 8-2, Barangay Ginebra at 7-2. Sino kaya makakuha ng number 1 spot after 48 minutes? Mga kaibigan, it's the San Miguel Beermen kontra sa Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings.
Previously.
Here it is, the ball game on the line. It's in the hands of the Barangay Ginebra Kings. Willie Miller starting off the play, moving in against, and he lost the ball. Oh, and it's a lost possession, and the San Miguel Beermen take the win. This is a loss that will linger in the memories of Barangay Ginebra. They'll have a chance to avenge that on November 21.
Since then, the Barangay Ginebra Kings have racked up 6 straight wins.
Enrico, back out for the start. Mark Nakiwa nails it from outside.
While the San Miguel Beermen grab the solo leadership by winning 7 of their last 8 games.
Some minutes in the second quarter.
The hottest teams collide in a grudge match that promises to be a big-time Sunday thriller.
They may be sister teams, but they don't really like each other.
The fans on their feet.
Are you ready?
Well, ready na po ang Araneta Coliseum, the championship capital of Philippine basketball, para sa isang banggaang espesyal. Mark Agiwa bringing out the best hairdo that he can think of for tonight. Willie Miller, nangangako siya, hindi na mauulit ang kanyang last second na pagkakamali in their last meeting. Alex Cabagdot, will he have another game winner for the Beermen in this colossal showdown? And Arvin Santos, he's always so steady on offense and on defense. And when you're in the middle of an impending collision, you feel the physics, the force coming from both sides. It's Ginebra versus San Miguel. This is PBA Sunday on Solar TV. Miko Halili with El Decano, Senor Quirito Hetzo.
Well, it's the game that everyone's been waiting for. And evidence, we've got practically a packed house dito sa Araneta Coliseum. Ginebra looking for 7th heaven. They've won 6 in a row. They're looking for that win at number 7. Of course, they're also looking to be number 1 in the team standings. And San Miguel, as our voiceover announcer said, has won 7 of its last 8. They're coming off a big win over Talk and Tech. That's a very morale-boosting victory over the Tropa and Texers. And San Miguel also looking to make it 2 in a row over Ginebra.
At kung pagbabasehan natin yung lakas ng palakpakan kanina when the two teams came out, parang home court advantage ang Ginebra dito. And well, they're holding court so far. And losing seems to be an alien concept to Ginebra, especially when you look at their defense.
The defense has been outstanding for Barangay Ginebra. They've only lost twice this conference. Both losses were 1-point defeats to Meralco and to San Miguel. Ito, makikita natin ang mga puntos sila when they win and when they lose very clearly, that whether they win or they lose, they're able to bring down the scores to very low levels, and that's really what's making them win. Ginebra is the number 1 team in the league now in defense, and they're giving up about 75 points a game only.
And I'm willing to bet that 99% of this crowd, they want to see what Mark Kagiwa will do in tonight's ball game. And well, Mark has been some sort of enigma in this tournament. He's rarely started. He's only started once para sa Ginebra, but he has also produced the points, especially when it matters the most.
Well, I think he's fit in very comfortably in this new system of Coach Joseph Vichico, coming off the bench. As you said, he's only started once, but last time out against Barako, he had 17 points, 14 coming in the 4th period. He has made a big difference in this team because he has been able to fit in comfortably. He's enjoying himself, and he's sharing time with his teammates. I think he's deferred a lot to Willie Miller. He's deferred a lot to Tubid and to Helterbrand, but he's also found a place for himself. He has not given up on his role as being the spark of this team. He's the spark plug, now coming off the bench, and he's delivering.
Gusto pa kita ni Mark na kung spark siya noon, spark pa rin siya ngayon. But, Mark's time-bending act could not compare to how Olsen Rosella, Danny Siegel, and Danny Ildefonso all together really pushed back the hands of time in their last game against the Tropang Texters. It was retro night inside the Big Dome, and Olsen, Danny I, and Danny S were partying like it was 1999.
Oh, this is vintage San Miguel coming through with Olsen Rosella, Danny Siegel, Danny Ildefonso delivering key baskets. And, we were talking about how the players are enjoying themselves playing together at Barangay Ginebra. What about San Miguel? A nice mix of veterans and youngsters getting together under Coach Ato Agustin. He also has made a difference in terms of his coaching style. A lot of the players call him the players' coach. He allows the players the freedom, the leniency, the elbow room to do what they want on the floor, given, of course, certain guidelines from the bench. But Ato Agustin knows exactly when to hold back, when to let go. And the players are responding very positively to his coaching style.
Talagang may sixth sense si Ato when it comes to sino ang mainit on the floor, and that's why he had the guts to stick with his veterans in crunch time against Talk and Text. I know someone also has a sixth sense about what teams should do.
Okay.
Katabi ko dito, ito, I give you a clue. Now we're going to look at the teams list, and whether you're ready or not, we're going to give you what these two teams need to do in order to win. And we'll start with Ginebra's teams list. Kirito, take it away.
Well, for Barangay Ginebra, we all know how tough defensively this team is. And so their team is silence is gold. They want to silence San Miguel's gunners. And number 1 priority for them is to neutralize Arwin Santos' length because he does so much in that mismatch at the 3 spot. Of course, giving is receiving. That's very important. Christmas spirit po tayo ngayon. It's better to give than to receive, and that means they need to be able to jack up those assist numbers. And finally, for Barangay Ginebra, I think the guards really have to show up. The backcourt must set the tone, not only in terms of offense, because that's where they generate much of their firepower, but also in terms of defense. And that's where Ronald Tubit comes into play. He plays the 3 spot for Barangay Ginebra, but he also sets the tone defensively from the backcourt position.
And now, please welcome the starting lineup
Ito naman ang Dean's List ng San Miguel Beermen.
Well, for San Miguel, staying on top is their big battle cry. They're number 1 in the league right now. Kung matalo sila rito, then they will give up the number 1 spot to Barangay Ginebra. They don't want to do that. They need to overpower Ginebra with a size. Sabi nga kanina ni Willie Miller, they are outsized all the way from the guard position to the big man. They need to resist the bait to run because Barangay Ginebra is a tough run and gun team. San Miguel doesn't want to makipagsabayan sa kanila, no? They need to play their half-court deliberate game and they need to establish a scoring position, meaning to say, beat Ginebra to the spot. Before Ginebra can establish its defense, San Miguel must be there, taking the shots, creating good shot selection para sa kanila. So it all boils down to execution and getting to the position where they want to be so that the defense of Ginebra cannot anticipate kung anong gagawin ng San Miguel.
At ito, nakikilala na natin ang primary protagonist for tonight's showdown between Ginebra and San Miguel. There's Rudy Hatfield, quite possibly the heart and soul of Ginebra's defense. And Willie Miller talking to the starting unit, Jong Uichigo, hoping to extend what is already an amazing winning streak.
That's right, and they're walloping their opponents over the last 6 games by an average of 16 points. That's the average winning margin of Barangay Ginebra in picking up 6 straight wins entering into this game. But you know, we've been talking about Barangay Ginebra's defense, and that's number 1 in the league. What about San Miguel? They're number 1 in the league in offense, and they're averaging over close to 94 points a game, and that's tops in the league. So the matchup in this game is very clear. It's offense versus defense.
At agad-agad, nasa scoreboard na ang Ginebra, courtesy of a jumper from Willie Miller on the left side. San Miguel in fighting red, Ginebra in immaculate white. Top 2 teams in the league going head-to-head. And here's Alex Cabagnot pulling up and works hard.
Good execution on both ends. Both for Barangay Ginebra getting the medium range shot, and then Alex Cabagnot, nice pass off. But what about this matchup here? You have Arwin Santos up against Willie Miller, and that's the matchup that Coach Ato Agustin wants. Same matchup that hounded Willie Miller in not getting off a shot in the last second of the previous game.
So far, that matchup not giving Miller any problems. All 4 points of Ginebra coming from Willie Miller.
Miller putting it on the floor, and that's important. If you want to be able to neutralize the length of your defender, put it on the floor and move around him so he doesn't have the angle to block the shot. And that's exactly what he did here. Moving around Arwin Santos. How can Arwin Santos block that shot? There's no way.
Bawi si Arwin Santos with a 3-pointer to push San Miguel ahead, 5-4.
At ibang dumidepensa kay Arwin Santos, hindi si Willie Miller. It's Ronald Tubin on the cross defensive assignments.
Now here's Tubin, guarded by Don Montiveros. And here's Helter Brand, Villanueva. Villanueva again starting para sa Ginebra, and he misses that time. Battle for the rebound, nakuha ni Alex Cabagnot. Here's Cabagnot looking at Ontiveros. Senya starting tonight para sa San Miguel. Here's Washington. Washington twirls, and Washington goes in, and Washington has been a mismatch problem for basically every team in the PBA.
But against Barangay Ginebra, I think he'll find his match in Rudy Hatfield. Yung nga lang, I think Washington has a little bit more mobility than Hatfield, so he also needs to put the ball on the floor and move away from Hatfield's defense. He's not going to post up against Hatfield, that's for sure. He'll attack it from the outside.
Shot clock winding down, and Ronaldo de Balsasarado. Ronald Tubin hits a 3.
And that was right in the face of Dondon Ontiveros, as if to say, eto Dondon, kaya mo ba to? Ano kaya, sasagot si Dondon? Hindi siguro.
Right now, Cabagnot. So here's Dondon in motion, and a miscommunication there, or miscommunication between Cabagnot and Ontiveros. And here's that 3-pointer in your face. Mula kay Ronald Tubin.
And on the return play, again, the defense of Barangay Ginebra forcing that turnover against San Miguel.
Elterbrand for 3. In and out. Whoa! Pumasok yung topic ni Washington. Tied at 7 apiece. Almost 3 minutes having gone by. In the opening quarter, a miss by Dorian Peña. Takbuhan ng Ginebra dito.
Peña did a good steal job that time. Oh, look at Hatfield. You know, that's something about Rudy Hatfield's game. In this conference, you've seen it. He's not able to finish on the